Today on Fresno State Focus, we take a look into how some students are preparing for finals.
Plus, we talk with the Valley's most famous TikTok star, Leo Gonzalez.
And we show you opening night at Christmas Tree Lane. Fresno State Focus starts now. Hello and welcome to Fresno State Focus. I'm Efren Mata.
And I'm Al Scott. Fresno State football will have a new coach next season. Earlier today, the news broke that USC linebackers coach and former head coach of the North Dakota State Bison, Matt Entz, will lead the Dogs as their next head coach. Entz was head coach for North Dakota State for 5 years, where he won 2 FCS national championships with the Bison. He came to the West Coast to work at USC for 1 season.
Robert Costa, the CBS News chief election correspondent, visited Fresno State this week. Costa came to speak in partnership with the Maddie Institute as part of its speaker series. He held a press briefing with local media outlets about journalism's importance in politics. He ended with a sit-down interview at the Satellite Student Union, sharing his professional insight into what is happening in the current and future world of politics. The Fresno State Art Department is having its final show of art show of the semester. Hundreds of students applied for their art to be showcased, but only 70 made it into the exhibition. This show is a big deal for students as they compete to earn a spot to show their best work in the dean's office for the upcoming year. Also, the art also inspires their students who come to see their colleagues' pieces shown at the gallery.
As an art major, it's really important to get to see art and be inspired by art. So getting to see everyone's artwork that's, working towards the same things as me at Fresno State, it's so nice.
There's a wide variety of art pieces from sculptures to paintings and everything in between. This exhibit is free and open to the public. It's open on weekdays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The art show will run until next Monday, so make sure to stop on by.
A special art hop event is happening downtown for Fresno State art graduates. Through a Glass is the name of the exhibit. The show will display mirrors and windows as a way to self-interpret who you think you are. The opening reception is tomorrow night at 5 p.m. There will be 3 more showings between now and January 11th. General admission is free, but you must book your visit for a ticket. The Marjorie Mason Center is moving locations. Right now, construction is underway for a new location in Northwest Fresno. The new center will be between Bullard and Blackstone and Bullard and Maroa. This location will serve as their new administrative building and around-the-clock drop-in center to support survivors of domestic violence. The new center will be up and running by January.
As the holidays roll on, we're getting ready to invite family and friends into our homes, but keep getting intruders out. We might not be our primary focus. Around this time, every year, over 500,000 homes are burglarized. In December, robbery and personal larceny rates are 20% higher than the monthly average. Joining me today is Fresno County Robbery and Property Detective Leonard Romero to give us tips to keep your home safe over the holidays. Thanks for joining us today.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
So let's get right into it. How can we make sure our homes are less susceptible to break-ins?
So primarily, the burglars like dark homes, dark, overgrown. You want to make sure that you cut back your hedges and have a lot of well-lit space. If you want to install a motion light on your backyard, side yard, anything to help scare them away.
So are criminals looking for any specific homes or vehicles? I know you just touched on it right now, dark spaces, but is there like a profile, 2 bedrooms, nice looking cars outside, or is it just an opportunity type of crime?
It's all crimes of opportunity, especially during the holiday season. People are getting a lot of packages to their door. They order while they're at work, they just stack up. And criminals see no one's home, no one's getting these packages, either steal those or they kick the door and make their way inside. Okay,
and then you also touched on it. It is holiday season, so when we're shopping, when we're going to the malls, how do we avoid those car break-ins and coming back to a shattered window and maybe a couple items missing from the car?
So you want to make sure that everything's out of sight. You want, before you get to your destination, if you're able to, put everything in your trunk. When you get there, if you're putting stuff in the trunk, they'll see it and they'll just smash the window, pop your trunk, and take all your things. Just keep everything out of sight that you possibly can in your vehicle.
Okay, and then even when we're shopping too, how can shoppers make sure that they're shopping safely and staying out of the way of people trying to basically loot and steal things in broad daylight?
So as far as shopper safety, I would go with a friend. And also keep your head up. I know in this day and age, everyone wants to be on their phone. I'm guilty of it too. I'm walking, looking at my phone. But you want to be aware of your surroundings to make sure no one's out, to grab your purse or your backpack that you might be forgetting about.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Leonard. Back to you, Al.
Last night, Cafe Scientifique hosted an event about solving wrongful convictions. This event was at the Tioga Sequoia Beer Garden at the Lookout. Fresno State's Professor Dr. Ryan Ditchfield spoke about his research. Cafe Scientifique puts on these events to get people to think outside the box.
Because it's so outside of my realm of study and my knowledge, and so I find listening to somebody who's an expert and doing research on a project is really quite exciting and interesting.
You can enjoy a cold brew and maybe even some street food. Cafe Scientifique has more information on their Facebook at Central Valley Cafe Scientifique. During the winter season, it's important to keep an extra eye on your furry friends.
Bianca Gonzalez is live at the Valley Animal Center for some advice on how to keep your pet safe during the holidays.
All right, thank you, Alan Mata. I am here at Valley Animal Center with this little guy, Hodge, and Ruben Cantu, the supervisor of adoptions. Now, Ruben, during the holiday season, a lot of people are interested in keeping their pet, space at the dinner table. What are some foods that they absolutely need to shy away from, and what foods is okay for them to have?
There's a lot of things we have to be careful for on the dinner table with our pets because a lot of our food's cooked in fatty oils, high salt, and there's things that can be really harmful for our pets. And so, you really want to consider very bland and unseasoned, basically just boiled food like carrots. Some greens are okay, but things like onions, you want to really avoid those because those can be toxic to your pet.
Absolutely. And in the hot months, like in summer, we know not to take your pet out for a walk if it's way too hot. What are some health concerns we need to know about your pets during the winter months?
It's really important to keep your pet have access to dry areas where it can keep its paws dry, keeping it where it can keep its body temperature regulated because it can develop things like pneumonia in very cold temperatures, even in this area.
Oh, that's absolutely important to know. And lastly, I want to ask, there's a lot of people who get interested in, gifting a friend or family member a pet for the holidays. What are some things you think they should know before that?
It's a big responsibility bringing in a pet to anybody's home. So what I always recommend to somebody, if you're looking to bring in a pet as a part of a Christmas gift, or maybe create a kind of voucher or gift certificate that you can give to your loved one that you could say, I want to help you be a part of the process. So that way, especially when you're coming to a shelter environment, you can make sure you're fitting them with the right dog for their lifestyle.
Absolutely. All right. At Valley Animal Center with Ruben Cantu and little baby Hodge. Hi, you want to see something? I'm Bianca Gonzalez, Fresno State Focus.
The Fresno Area Hispanic Foundation has been a trailblazing organization for years in the Central Valley. Jacqueline Alvarez spoke with the CEO and founder of the foundation, Dora Westerland, to find out the key to how she got here.
Fresno State business graduate Dora Westerland is helping Hispanic businesses grow one step at a time.
My growth and love for the community started to flourish, and the opportunities that we had to do so many things for the Mexican community and the Latino community in general. So that's where it started my passion for our community.
Westerland got her start working for the Mexican consulate in Fresno, which she says shaped her love for the helping community. Now, she is the CEO of Fresno Area Hispanic Foundation, known as FAHF. It helps Hispanic startup companies get the resources they need to be successful.
She said, I trust like all my team.
Westerland took former Fresno head of consul David Preciado along with her to the FAHF.
When we wanted to approach our community, it is not only offer services, how you do it. And I learned from that time when Dora asked me to do events together that she really cares for them.
Dora Westerland understands that being a great CEO is being there for her community, but she also knows that's not only being there for local businesses, but rural ones as well.
She's very powerful in business, in making business, expanding.
Carmela Flores started her Fireball snow cone business 4 years ago to help support her family. She's grateful for Westerland's support.
He was very enthusiastic hearing from Dora the things that she had to say about me. And to me, that says a lot.
Westerland is a powerhouse woman CEO, excited to open doors for new coming partners. In downtown Fresno, Jacqueline Alvarez, Fresno State Focus.
Coming up on Fresno State Focus, I will sit down for an exclusive interview with famous San Diego sports broadcaster Ted Leitner.
Plus, we tell you all about some upcoming music events that you won't want to miss.
Here in the valley, our colors are blue and our waves are red. Bulldog born and bulldog bred. Generations linked forever by traditions that have stood the test of time. Inside our stadiums, we are one. This is our valley, and this year, we're doing it for you.
At Fresno State, being bold means committing to something greater than yourself. It's learning by doing and nurturing leaders to advance our shared future. It's using research to create a better life for those around us and healing those who need us most. These are our stories, because at Fresno State, bold begins here.
Hi, I'm Alex Flores with your Focus on Weather. Behind me, we have the beautiful rose garden facing the west side of the campus. As you can see, it's not really cloudy nor sunny or really windy, so it's the perfect weather out for the valley. For the national satellite, we see on the west coast, New York, Connecticut, even the Virginias, a lot of snow coming down, heavy snow coming down. We see in Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, a lot of heavy rain coming down as well. So be sure if you're on that side of the country to hunker down. For the western satellite, we see that there's a lot of rain coming into the Pacific, but it might not hit us, thankfully, so it might move up into the northern and parts of California. For today's highs, in Stockton, Mendota, Mariposa, Merced, Los Baños are in the high 60s, as long as in Fresno, 63, Shaver Lake, 54, Hanford, 63. For today's lows, all throughout the valley, all in the 40s. Here in Fresno, we are at 43, Mendota, 40, Shaver Lake, 38, Visalia, 43. For the air quality, for San Joaquin, San Andres, Merced County, we are in the moderate. For Madera and here in Fresno County, we are in the unhealthy. For Kings, Tulare, Kern, in the very unhealthy, and the Sequoia National Park, very good. For the extended outlook for the rest of the week, we are cloudy, so be sure to grab a sweater, and that's it for your weather. Back to you at the desk.
If you missed a recital, don't worry. Tomorrow there will be a jazz festival on campus. The annual festival hosts 3 sessions. It will feature middle school and high school jazz musicians. There will be at 7:30, there will be a performance of the Rachel Eckroth Quartet. The show also features the Fresno State Jazz Orchestra. Tickets will be sold at $10 for students and $20 for general admission.
Hanford has its very own TikTok influencer with over 3 million followers. I interviewed Leo Gonzalez about his rise to fame.
Okay, number 78, 9 tacos de asada, 3 quesadillas de pastor, damn, 3 tortas de carnitas.
This video got more than 17 million views for Hanford's Leo Gonzalez. Hundreds of people showed up to meet him at Botapalooza at the Visalia Convention Center. Gonzalez says he wants his viewers to feel something.
There's nothing better than making people feel something, whether it's good or sad or a reminder, some sort. You don't really lose that.
Gonzalez's best friend agrees.
He's always been funny. He's always wanted to make people laugh, and he's always just been that kid in class that just wanted to make everybody laugh.
You know what's so cool about being an influencer?
Just one click of a button and you can basically record anything from the comfort of your own home. Many of his fans made sure to snap a quick picture with him. People love Gonzalez for his humor and humbleness.
I think Leo Gonzalez is a really good TikToker. I enjoy watching his skits on TikTok and Instagram. They're very funny. And I think it's cooler because he's also from Hanford, so it's like close to home.
Gonzalez makes a lot of relatable videos and has a large following of 3.2 million on TikTok. He feels very grateful, and it's brought him many great opportunities like speaking at the White House.
So it was such a surreal moment because I was super nervous and outside of myself. And when I walked up there and I started speaking, I looked down and Dolores Huerta was in the front row, and that was insane for me.
Having a large following can really impact a lot of people. If you're interested in watching Leo Gonzalez's videos, head over to Leo Gonzal on Instagram and TikTok.
Every fan base in sports has that one announcer that they love to listen to. In San Diego, fans have been treated to the great calls of the legendary Ted Leitner for over 4 decades. He was the voice of the San Diego Padres for 40 years and is now in his final season calling basketball games for the San Diego State Aztecs. The San Diego State men's basketball team is in town tonight to take on the Bulldogs at the Sabrent Center. Mr. Leitner joins me now. Thank you.
Alex, thank you.
So you've been around the horn for several years now.
Look at the hair.
Is there one signature moment? I remember as a kid growing up and listening to you, the Jake Peavy striking out 9 in a row sticks out to me, but is there a single moment that, that really signified your career?
It was, and it was Game 6 of the National League Championships in 1998, and facing Atlanta with the 3 Hall of Famers, Smoltz, Glavine, Maddox, against us, and it's the 6th game, and there's a fly ball to left field hit by our pitcher and Sterling Hitchcock, and it went off the glove of Bautista. That took a 4-2 lead to a 6-2 lead, and I know then it's over. We're winning this thing. We're going to Yankee Stadium shortly. We had a different flight planned. Now suddenly, call a plane, change it, Yankee Stadium, New York. We're going to go to the World Series in 1998. That, among many, many great moments and great players and all that stuff, that's the one that sticks in my mind.
You've been calling basketball for several years. Is there something that you're going to miss about it, or are you excited for true retirement now that you have more time?
I never intended to retire, never. No, there's an Asian proverb that when you find something you love to do, you don't work a day in your life. I have never worked a day in my life, never. I love it so much. There's nothing I won't miss. And I had planned in talks with San Diego State to continue after the Padres were done and all that. But glaucoma had a secondary attack on me. And I mean, there are worse diseases, but for a broadcaster, not really. So it got really bad to see in some of these press boxes that are like a zip code away from the field. And so courtside, I can still see well enough to do basketball. But baseball, that little round ball, that's tough. So it's been kind of a retirement by attrition that can't do baseball anymore, can't do football, and now basketball. And I think the timing is right, and I don't mind that. I don't want to, stay there for 1,000 years with a young guy with a young family who wants to move up. It's tough enough in broadcasting to do that, and so I'm fine with it. But to answer your question, Alex, I would go on till the final, as George Carlin used to say, the 2-minute warning from God. 2 minutes, get your stuff together. You have 2 minutes. That's what I would have had.
Well, thank you for joining us today, and thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Coming up in sports, 'tis the season for change. The transfer portal haunts the Fresno State Bulldogs football team. Plus, we preview the men's basketball that is happening tonight. Stay tuned for sports with Brian Welch.
I got the Bulldog spirit up in my head.
Up in my head.
Up in my head.
I got that Bulldog spirit. Up in my head. Up in my head to stay. I got that Bulldog spirit. Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. Got that Bulldog spirit. Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart to stay. I got that Bulldog spirit. Down in my toes. Down in my toes. Down in my toes. I got that Bulldog spirit. Down in my toes. Hey. Down in my toes to stay. I got that Bulldog spirit. Up in my head. Deep in my heart. Down in my toes. I got that Bulldog spirit. All over me. All over me to stay. I got that Bulldog spirit.
Deep in my heart.
Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart.
Hi, I'm Brian Welch of your Focus on Sports. So, new coach likely and new quarterback. The Fresno State football team is in a big transition right now. With the loss to UCLA, many players from Fresno State are set to enter the transfer portal, especially quarterback Mikey Keene. Keene let everybody know via X yesterday that he's going to enter the transfer portal when it opens on Monday. Keene has a handful of players from Fresno State who are entered the transfer portal. Keene this season had almost 2,900 yards passing with 18 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Joining Keene in the portal are running back Malik Sherrod, wideouts Jalen Moss, and Raylan Sharp as well as Phoenix Jackson. It'll be a very different looking Bulldog squad when they suit up for their bowl game. Fresno State football team is waiting to find out who they'll play in a bowl game after ending the season with a loss in the Rose Bowl against UCLA. The Dogs' offense struggled to move the ball as Clay Lawrence had to punt 7 times. When the offense did find traction, they were able to strike with this pass from Mikey Keene to Raylan Sharp. And also this play from Keene to Chynan James at the end of the 3rd quarter. It was not enough as the Dogs fall to the Bruins 20-13. Fresno State finishes the regular season with a record of 6-6. The Fresno State women's basketball team is back in action tomorrow against UC Merced. Over the weekend, the Lady Dogs took part in the Rainbow Wahine tournament on the island of Oahu. They took on Hawaii, UCLA, and UT Martin. They went 1-2 on the weekend. It was also head coach Jamie White's 300th career victory. Tip-off tomorrow between the Bobcats and the Dogs is at 6 p.m. at the Save Mart Center. Tonight at the Save Mart Center, Vance Wahlberg's Dogs are in action against nationally ranked San Diego State. After losing the last 2 games against Washington State and CBU, the Dogs are 3-4 overall on the season. The Dogs are hungry to spoil the Aztecs' momentum at the Save Mart Center. Head coach Vance Wahlberg says the key to tonight's victory is defense.
It's going to take great defense. I think 2 things we have to make sure we do. We have to take care of the ball. If you watch if you went back and watched the Creighton game with San Diego State, the live ball turnovers just killed Creighton. They probably had 16, 18 points just off of live ball turnovers. We have to take care of the ball, and then we have to rebound the heck out of it. Then from there, if we make shots, we're okay.
Dogs and the Aztecs tangle tonight at 7:30 at the Save Mart Center. Boise State and UNLV are battling for the conference crown this Friday on the Blue, and the Broncos have the opportunity to go to the 12-team college football playoff. Christopher Gabriel from 580 KMJ is here to talk about the playoff and the news of the new head coach. CG, how you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing great. Anytime that I can be on the same show with Ted Leitner, a couple of guys with Arctic blonde hair, it's a good day.
Oh my word! Hey, let's talk about this. Boise State's in the conference championship game against UNLV, rematch from last year. My question is to you, if Boise State beats UNLV, gets the conference crown, do they go to the playoff, and do they have a first-round bye?
Well, they definitely go to the playoff. They definitely have a first-round bye. This is what the committee is hoping. They've had a great season. Ashton Genty probably going to win the Heisman. Spencer Danielson, what a great year, first or second year as head coach. I'm not a big fan of the byes. I don't like that teams are getting elevated or dropped based on being a conference leader. Nevertheless, they'll be a tough out. I think they'll be a tough out. I think they're going to surprise whoever they play. And it looks like, I don't know if they're going to play where they're going to play 5-12. I'm not sure what they're playing, but it's going to be exciting to see a West Coast team in the playoff right off the bat.
Well, that'd be really cool because Boise State got the Group of 5 bid in 2014 in the first year of the playoff. But let's take a look at that rest of the bracket. We have a graphic from ESPN right now. You have Arizona State and Penn State in that 5-12 seed, and also you have Notre Dame and Alabama, plus Ohio State, Tennessee, Indiana, Georgia. I mean, you cover the balls. What do you want to see from that matchup?
Well, I think with Tennessee and Ohio State, the first thing that jumps out at you is Tennessee's a big brand, Ohio State's a bigger brand, and I think a lot of factors went into Ohio State getting that home game. I think it's a dream for Ward Manuel and this 13-member committee. That's the kind of game they'll probably, I would imagine they would put that, if that's the game that's going to happen, I would imagine they put that on a Friday night. Of course, in the Big Ten championship game, if Oregon just completely blows out Penn State, it's entirely possible that Penn State will host Tennessee in Happy Valley.
And finally, there's a lot of news around Fresno State football, especially today, with Matt Eames probably going to be signing the dotted line in a little bit. You got to see Coach Eames coach at North Dakota State when you were in Fargo. What can you talk about his style of coaching for the Red Wave?
Yeah, I think this is a great hire. I understand the sentiment with Tim Skipper. He's a great guy. He's a great leader. It didn't work out for him. I was in Fargo for 6 years. Matt Entz came and joined Chris Kleiman's staff in 2014. He came there from Northern Iowa and Western Illinois. He is a defensive specialist. He plays big boy, hard-nosed, physical football. He is a kind of coach that he wants to inflict pain on teams. He's a winner. He won the national championship in 2019 and 2021. I covered one of those when he was a defensive coordinator for Kleiman when they beat Illinois State. I think the Dogs are going to like him. I think he's a guy that Pat Hill's going to like, that Jeff Tedford would like. He plays the kind of football that I think fans in the Valley are really going to enjoy.
CG, it's always a pleasure seeing you, my friend, and let's have some fun in the playoff.
My pleasure.
That's Christopher Gabriel from 580 KMJ, and I'm Brian Welch. This has been your Focus on Sports. Alan Mata, back to you.
The Fresno State Student and Alumni Entrepreneurs will host the Holiday Student Business Expo. This will be the second Student Business Expo after having success in October. They sold out most of their inventory during their first pop-up shop. Now, they're using sales data to bring back popular items such as their Craig School of Business branded clothes and hats. Students run the entire business, set the prices, and manage the shops.
We've done really good with just socializing, meeting new people. Met a lot of people who are interested for helping us out in our next event on December 11th, so don't miss out for that.
This next shop is set to feature improved clothing, merchandise, food, items, handcrafted gifts, and more. So if you didn't get anything, make sure to get something this time. The business will be indoors at the Peters Business Building, and it will be open next week from 10 to 2 p.m.
As the holidays are back, so is a popular Fresno attraction. Christmas Tree Lane opened on Monday night. Its first walk-only night last night brought out the crowds for this 104-year tradition. The neighborhood always puts on a show year after year. There are always newcomers looking to get into the holiday spirit.
Although this is my first time coming to Christmas Tree Lane, I'm not from the area, so I'm not very familiar with a lot of the celebrations that they have or hold here. But it was nice to see the community and just everyone walk around and enjoy the lights, hear the music, and, you know, just experience it.
The next walk-only night will be December 11th, but Christmas Tree Lane is open every night until Christmas night. Holiday season is here, and tomorrow is going to be joyful at the Resnick Student Union. Spotlight Events are hosting Merry and Bright from 5 through 8 p.m. at the RSU Ruiz Ballroom. It is free for all students, and they encourage you to wear your pajamas. Everyone is in their holiday spirit. Our reporter Ray Franco asked people around campus what their favorite holiday food is and why.
My favorite holiday food is this Filipino festival food, feast food called lechon. It's roasted pork, and I love it because it just reminds me of community. It's a roasted whole pork, and everyone kind of bonds over it.
Honestly, it's kind of a combination of the two. Really just a ham slider, so it's not really the day of. It's more like a leftover thing the next day.
My favorite holiday food is Ethiopian food called shuro. It's just my favorite in general out of there, but during holidays we generally tend to mix and match, and it's usually a big plate.
I do have some favorite holiday beverages for sure. That Martinelli sparkling cider, absolutely delicious. Whether you're a kid or an adult, doesn't matter, beautiful. If you want the adult variation, putting a shot of Fireball in that, perfect.
My favorite holiday food is mac and cheese because it's such a comfort food, and how can you go wrong with mac and cheese?
And of course some spiked eggnog's pretty good too. That'll warm you up for the holidays.
So what is your favorite holiday tradition?
Before last week, it was pumpkin pie. I've been converted, and now I'm a banana cream pie type of guy.
I like a nice ham. I know that's
honey glaze.
Honey glaze, yeah.
Ooh.
And of course, you got to have the apple cider.
With the Fireball?
Maybe without the Fireball, but I'm good with the regular cider.
Okay, yeah. I think I'd take it with the Fireball.
Next week on Fresno State Focus, we will have a special final show.
The first 15 minutes of our newscast will be in Spanish, then the next half will be in English.
Also, we will have weather for you in not one but two languages.
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week on Fresno State Focus.